All right, so on our 2011 Honda Accord, we're gonna crack this thing loose first. I like to do that first for our Phillips holding on the rotor. There's only one on this one for some reason. So, I'll just pull it out now. And we're gonna take the emergency brake. We're changing the caliper on it. And we're gonna take the emergency brake cable off of it. And there is a bolt back here I'm going to take off. And it's got a cable on this. And this is the emergency brake cable, and it just hooks into a bracket on the caliper. So it's kind of nice. We soaked everything with oil, so see, you know, it'll go smooth. Okay, we get that out, and then we can pull down on the cable, and then take it off of the lever over here. Okay, and we can just hang that down out of the way. Now we're gonna crack we're gonna pinch the line off here with our little vice grips again, like we did earlier. Okay. And we'll go somewhere that's kind of out of the way. Try and I'm gonna crack this loose, which is our 11. The emergency, this is our hydraulic fluid cable, brake fluid cable. We're gonna get our bucket under here. Take this off. Let this hang. Fluid. Okay, push this out of our way. Got our 14mm for our caliper bolts. Alright, I'm gonna try this up. Now, this is one of our calipers that was frozen, and it won't move, so it's not gonna come off all that easy. And this has one of those pistons that you would have to crank in, put pressure on it and crank it in. They sell a tool that goes in between here and applies pressure, and it twists this piston in. But we have new ones because it locked up, so we're gonna be replacing that. Now we're gonna take our brake bar off over here. It looks like it's that same 17mm setup we have. These are usually kind of tight, so you get in there with the 1/2-inch ratchet if it's gonna fit. And I'm gonna crack them loose with this, and might be a little tight. Get in on this one. I have a 3/8 drive set up. I'm probably going to continue, with that. Let's loosen it up though. Okay. And if you look at the brake shoes, you know, you're thick over here and you're down to nothing over here.
Yeah.
And
It's hanging up.
And your caliper pins are moving. So the caliper is dragging, the piston's not letting off on the brake pad. So, so we have new rotor and caliper for this side as well. So I'm gonna slip the rotor off now. And I'm gonna never seize all my stuff up, my bolts, my hub. We're gonna clean our rotor, get our rotor on, put our bolt in there, we'll show you all that. And then we'll put our brake cable on last. Got our brake cleaner, we're just gonna hit the rotor, take the oil film off of it. Okay. All right, let's go start nav season. So we're doing this here. And we got our bolts to coming through here.
Another season these two.
What's that?
There's another season on these.
Yeah.
So is the brake pad bolts.
Yeah, brake caliper bracket bolts, yeah.
Okay.
This in place so they're not quite sticking through. Now these look like they got little spaces on them. This one's make sure it don't fall off.
Yeah, they do have spaces, don't
Yeah. You gotta make sure those don't fall off. And okay, we got our rotor. We're gonna go bolt the rotor on. They gave us 2 new bolts for the rotor, so we'll get those on.
So for now, Steve's just putting a little bit of another seize on those bolts. To hold the brake rotor on. We only had one on this one, right?
Yeah. So these are the Brembo brakes. They gave us new ones, 2 new ones, so we're gonna use them.
Steve's going fishing.
Yeah, brake for it. I love that.
I'll make it nice and slimy for you.
So this one's kind of tight going in. That's why they didn't put it in. And like I said, we're not gonna. I'm gonna spend a little time trying to tighten that, but not too much. And if it doesn't go in, it's not gonna break my heart. The thread in the hub is bad. Once you get the tire on, it holds the rotor on. So I'm gonna lose sleep over that. All right, so we're gonna take our caliper over. We matched it up. We're gonna take the bracket off. We're gonna put our clips on, which are already on. We just gotta slip our brake pads in there and lube them up. Let's go get this separated and ready, and then we'll install the bracket on the vehicle. Bolt everything on. Make sure our shims don't fall, and as long as they don't end up in the bucket, I guess they stay in place. So.
Yeah.
All right, let's go get this together. All right, so we're gonna crack these loose. These off. So these already came through with the clips. We got our caliper pin loop here. I'm gonna put that on here. Okay, and we're gonna do a little more on the pins. So just peel the boot back so you don't peel the boot off.
could hear that thing.
Didn't want to let go, huh? There ain't a lot of lube on these, you know?
Nah.
That's just, so, you know, we put some extra on it. This gets hot, you know? These front ones get hotter than the rears. This is the rear we're doing right now, but, you know, if you can get these to fill up with some grease and, you know, you got a little more in there than you needed. That's what you want. So.
Things get real hot. A little lube never hurts, right,
That's
Steve?
right. That's right. We're a couple of old guys. What do we know about that? What do we know about that anymore?
There's some boat class that's gonna watch this break video. We just ruined it for the future. Now he's gotta explain something else.
Yeah.
Steve and I are a couple of Vokies. I went to school for plumbing. Now I'm a marketing guy.
I stay with my trade.
Steve stayed with his trade. Plumbing sucks.
Okay, get that one. Plumbers make a lot of money, Tony. Shitting me?
Yeah, they do all right.
Yeah, they do all right.
My plan is to make enough money to pay for the plumber so I can sit my ass down in the chair and watch the guy.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so a little extra lube on these. It's always good. All right, so we're going to get our Brembo rear brakes now. Boy, look at these.
Oh, jeez. Now, look what the cat dragged in. It's Richie.
The electrician's
The electrician's here.
bragging about how much money he makes now.
Yeah. Enough that I don't have to do brakes on a Thursday night.
It's that Poison song. Oh my God! Look what the cat dragged in.
Price. I was here Sunday for brakes, so I can't talk.
Steve's got brake jobs coming out of his ass.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of brake jobs. Okay, so we're just matching up to make sure we put the right ones on. So it's the opposite side we got here. You know, different manufacturers have, you know, different clip setups.
Yeah.
And so this is probably an OEM style, and they use this, and Brembo feels you don't need it, so we don't have any springs on here. And they gave us some holes in here, so you know what? I might just reuse them, just because they're good, in good shape. So I'm gonna slide these on in place. Man, these slide down really easy.
Yeah, they're kind of.
Pretty nice.
But you want that though, so you don't bind
yeah.
up. But it just makes it a pain in the ass to load them up. They should be free sliding like that.
Okay, and let's see these clips.
Did you say they gave you clips?
No, they didn't give me
No.
any clips, so no, there's no clips in the box. So, but there's holes in here,
Yeah.
and this clip's like falling apart, so these aren't no good. So,
Ah, jeez.
so we're not gonna need them. All right, so we're gonna get this set up, transferred over
Yeah.
to the caliper, to the rotor right now, and tighten these up,
Okay.
and then we can slip our caliper on. Now, our caliper, like I said, we do the same thing. We put a little lube on the boot, on the new caliper, a little over here and here. Okay, that's good, that's good. All right, let's go bring all this stuff over. Oh, Jesus. All right, so we're gonna slip our brake pads up in place, squeeze them in place, and try and line up our bolts here. We've already never seized all of our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've got this one never seized. Okay, so let's get this tucked over here. And we'll use our 3/8 ratchet to tighten this stuff up. I'm gonna probably feel a little more comfortable with a wrench on that one. I just don't feel like it really fits on there, so I'm gonna snug this one down. I can't really get it on straight where the ball joint is here. And I'm gonna break my knuckle. I already see it coming. So put my 17 on there. I'm gonna put my cheater wrench on. Okay, that's tight. Now, you notice we didn't lose our washers here. Okay, those stay in play.
Yep.
So check this one. Yeah, that was tight. Okay, we got brake pads on. We got everything lubed on this thing. We're gonna put a little lube on our bolts.
Let's see, put some never sees on those.
Just a little. Okay, so now we can take our caliper. Might as well pull this off. Now, okay, it gave us 2 calipers. We gotta look in the box and see if the bolt's in there. I gotta get a screwdriver to get that. So they gave us 2 new seal washers, brass washers, but they didn't
Give you bolts.
yeah, so that's what we're using them. Okay, so we get these here. This is our original bolt, and that's got a washer still on it. Sometimes you gotta put these in the vise and give them a little doink. All right. The seat's clean. Okay, you got one new washer here. The other one there. All right, let's grab a caliper. We've got our bolts all set up to go on here. Slide this in. And push my piston and my caliper pin in along. Okay, we got one. Let's get the one. Okay, that's tight. That's tight. Now, before I just want to make sure that, you know, you're telling me to reuse my bolt. Okay, threads right in, it's all golden. So we're gonna make sure our line here is clean on both sides. Okay, looks nice and clean. Okay, we got our bolt. Fuzzing this from my rag off there.
So the little copper washers on the top.
We got one right here.
And your hands in the way.
Now we're gonna push this bolt in and catch the threads. So I want to catch the threads, and then I'm going to worry about trying to line this pin up that goes into the caliper. I want to make sure my threads are caught, you know, correct. and I'm jiggling this thing around. See my pin is lined up in here now?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure that happened.
There's like a notch.
Yeah.
Right around the other side.
Yeah.
And the kit came with 2 brand new copper washers. There's one on each side, as you can see. So they kind of like, are they like a pressure washer, Steve?
Yeah, it's a copper washer.
Copper washer, so
yeah. And like I said, we're just gonna snug this thing up. We don't. All right, so that's the 11. That's this one. We're just gonna snug this thing up. Okay. And you know, when we go and bleed the brakes, and when you're done at the end, you hold you have someone step on the brake pedal really firm, and then you come around and you look at all your switch joints here to make sure there's nothing leaking. So that's all set, so we can disconnect our vice grips now. Now we got to set up our emergency brake cable. And you know, this was the bolt that came off of the emergency brake cable, and we just want to make sure that it, you know, threads into the bracket. Sometimes you don't know what manufacturers do. And see, now this is pretty tight. There's a reason for that, because it's the wrong one. So this is the one here, and I want to make sure that, you know, it threads in good. Because if I'm going to be messing with it, I'm going to be messing with it now before. Okay, that's going.
Yeah, it looks better.
Right in. Okay, so I'm going to put little never-sees on that, and then we're going to slip this cable up in place. This is a rest point on these. I like to get these kind of lubed up, you know. Okay, so we said that we had to go and hook this onto the top of this first, coming down, and then we pulled this down underneath, around, and we slip this into place like this.
There you go.
Now we'll catch this bolt. Okay, get that snug. Now we have our brake bleeder that we're gonna pop the cap off, and like we've showed you before, we're gonna just crack this thing loose and let it drain a little fluid, and then we're gonna close it up. So we're gonna let the caliper fill up with fluid, and you know, in the meantime, I'm gonna try and get this screw to work in and out, and you know, if it doesn't, it doesn't. All right, so we got the rotor on.
Yeah.
We've got our caliper on. We got the bracket bolts. We're gonna double check everything to make sure, you know, everything is tight. And I don't think we finished tightening these up yet. Oh, they are 12s. Yeah, those are tight. We know we've got our line here tight. We've got the back bolt tight. We've got this all lubed up for the emergency brake cable. We've got this tight. And we made sure that we didn't lose our spaces inside there. That didn't fall out. There's nothing in the pan. So, so this side is all done. We cracked our bleeder through. And in a few minutes, we should get some fluid coming out of this. Once it starts coming out, we'll button it up. And then we'll, it's gonna be the same procedure on the other side. When you're done, you're gonna, you know, top your fluid off. You're gonna bleed your brakes, and that'll wind it up.